Or is that good? No, that's not good. Hang on a sec. Okay, there we go.
Not a lot happens in 25.
Yeah. But yeah, something I did, like, figure out was that it's, like, apparently Tamers was directed by the guy who, like, made Evangelion.
I believe it.
Yeah, cause, like, I actually didn't know before. And that's, like, thinking back, Hideaki Anno, I think is the guy's name. Yeah, like, it's Anno. But yeah, because thinking back, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I can feel, like, the fingerprints of it, you know?
Oh, you'll feel them a lot more later.
Yeah, it's like, because you go Hypnos and you have, like, just the big effing, like, Ava tanks where they, like, store Digimon. And, you have them, like, just devolving into the goop and crap, which is a big Ava thing. And, like, you have, like, this shadowy, like, guy in, like, the business that's, like, like, leading the crazy corporation or whatever with, like, sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Last time did we mention that he took off the sunglasses and he's like a good guy now?
yeah, Yamaki's just randomly like, oh yeah, like, I'll help you kids out, like, here's a thing to contact me or something, and they're like, ah, thanks.
It's kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it makes, like, enough sense, because, at this point, it's like, he's failed so many times, that it's like, okay, yeah, like, of course he would do this now, because, like, these kids are the only ones who know what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
they're the only ones who can make this work. Um, wait, did Ao actually work on, like, effing Nausicaa? Yeah, actually, that's not too surprising now that I think about it. Wait, worked on Macross? Really? Alright, Nausicaa Value of the Wind, impress the abilities, worked with Gynax, Roll Sphere, Castle in the Sky. Wait, no, it was named after her, was it? Alright, yeah. Yeah, only like. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, because I'm seeing no results for Digimon on here, but it's something I heard. So, like, I don't know, maybe. No?
Somebody who's worked on darker stuff did work on this series.
Oh, man, like, that's. I hate that, like, I can't find that connection, because, like, I heard it from somewhere. I forget where I heard it. But, like, I heard that had something to do with it or something. Or it was, like, one of the directors or something. And it was like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. And now it's like, oh, I can't actually fact check this crap. Unless maybe. Directed by, nope, that's not him. Written by Toei. Crap, I may have just been completely misinformed and then won like a big thing based on nothing. Yeah, well. So Digimon, right?
I think it's something like the person, maybe it was the person who worked on Tamers also wrote that one weirdly dark episode from Adventure.
Maybe?
I'm not sure.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was like the other guy who was like directing Ava.
So yeah, kids go into the portal, and they end up in the digital world.
Let me check this real quick. Alright, is there like anything here? Nope, nothing. Alright, nah, I guess it was just complete lies then.
Hmm.
But yeah, kids manage to get into the digital world and they're like, oh, holy crap, we're here. But yeah, we do get a bit of them like falling through the weird computer chip zone that we see Digimon running across every now and then. It's like, the
Yeah.
weird boundary or something. But yeah, they get into the digital world, and as they're like going through, they lose all their bread, and like they're immediately like, oh right, like our supplies.
All
oh,
gone.
oh, this isn't a good like start at all.
They set up their little flag and they take pictures of the group.
Yeah, and they quickly figure out that it's like all the like electronics they brought with them don't work, just straight up. Like they're all like glitchy and like malfunctioning and stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah, makes sense. So it's like before, is like, okay, maybe there's like a cover up or something. Maybe this could be related to adventure. This is just straight up not the same digital world.
No, it is not.
Like it's
This
very
world is barren wasteland.
yeah, like I get the impression it's like, there's more to it. They just landed in the wasteland, but it's like, yeah, this digital world is like just very weird and distinct. Like it's way more technological,
Yeah, like you can see at all times. You can see the Earth in the sky.
Yeah. So I was bring up that because it's like when we say the Earth, what we mean is like what they refer to as the real world sphere, which is like
It's the Earth.
uh yeah, it's basically the real world is just in the sky above them as this big weird CG digital thing with like lights coming off of it and like beams that like transport data around all this crazy stuff. And
Yeah,
it's
this
like,
digital world is very alien to what we're used to.
yeah. But yeah, it's like I don't know, it feels like I've been like missing this for a while, right?
Like the whole digital world thing.
Yeah, the whole feel of exploration where it's like, we're just gonna go to this like new crazy place and there's just all these weird like rules and stuff to it that we have to figure out.
Yeah, but I kind of like the Tamers way where they, like most of the first, like the entirety of the first arc is in the real world,
Yeah,
and then they escalate to
like the
hopping
original
world.
series was like a survival series type of thing where it's like, oh we're on this small island, there's like mostly just champions around. This feels like, oh, the digital world is very immediately dangerous in like a very crazy, unpredictable way. And it's like, okay, yeah, if we did have all the build up before now, then like these kids would be screwed.
Yeah, in this digital world, it's survival of the fittest.
Yeah, because they set up the whole thing where it's like, oh, Digimon are made for fighting. And it's like, no, Digimon are really just made for fighting. Like, when Digimon don't know what to do, that's just their default. It's not always like, oh, I'm just gonna kill this other person or whatever, but it's like, like, yeah, that's just what these things do.
Yeah. Also, we see Makuramon falling into the digital world with Kalamon, and he loses him.
Yeah, so, like, it's this weird little sequence where always, like, pushing Calamon through the gate or whatever. And, like, yeah, should be the right image. But
He's
yeah,
falling through
Calamon's
the
cage gets like stuck in the like effing circuit board and it won't come through and like a force pushes him off of it.
yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm gonna need help to get through this crap.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I'll come back with the power of our god.
Yeah. So, like, he just leaves Calamon behind, and Larius come back, and Calamon just kind of glitches through the cage and just falls into the digital world anyways.
It's less
It's,
that he glitches through it and more that he no-clips through it.
yeah, it's like, okay, I guess this is a thing. Because, like, I forget what happens, but we see him, like, come back later with an effing dragon, and, like, the cage is just empty, and he's like, ah, damn it.
Yeah. There's strange little creatures flying around when Calamon slips through the cage.
Yeah, it's all very weird and very mysterious, as Calamon tend to do. But yeah, like, this episode's mostly about, it's like, it's learning about what the heck is up with this digital world and kind of like setting the stage for it, right?
Yeah, and Leomon and Renamon are like, yeah, we've been here.
Yeah.
That's not dangerous, that is.
But yeah, you probably like, if you're watching, you probably saw in one of the previous images, there's like these weird like data orbs. They're like just little tumbleweeds or something. It's like
data
little
packets.
Yeah, little packets of dust data.
And yeah, they're basically digital tumbleweeds, and they're completely harmless.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, I should point out that it's like, they're staring around, they're like, oh man, the digital world's so weird and stuff. And like, first that happens is like, oh, the ground just becomes dark and it turns to night like all at once.
Yeah, it's like a light switch was thrown.
Yeah, it's like this weird wave of night just crosses past them, and it's like, okay, I guess it's nighttime now.
Establishing already that, like, the data packets and the beams of light and the sudden darkness. This digital world is weird.
Yeah. Like, it
Even
definitely feels very alien.
Yeah, even in like regular adventure, it was, I think, like a day-night cycle is pretty normal.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember it's like adventure in like, like different times of day at least.
Yeah.
Like, adventure had a moon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's how normal it was.
yeah, they point out that there wasn't even like a dusk or anything. It just goes dark immediately.
Yeah, it's like an RPG where it's like, oh yeah, day just clicks to night and like the screen just becomes dark all of a sudden. It's literally that.
So the kids head for a bunch of what looks. They head in the direction of what looks like satellite dishes and antenna and whatnot.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of satellite-shaped rocks.
Yeah, and they come across a Marimon, who immediately attacks them.
Yeah, just a random Marimon. And, yeah. And because effing, like, Tamers is a good-looking series, he looks effing nuts.
He looks awesome.
Because, like, but, like, they beam pretty quickly with the Leomon, and, like, he simmers down, but it's like, while he's attacking, he is, like, glowing like a madman, and it looks so cool.
Yeah. Even when he's not glowing, I don't know what it is, but Marimon looks really good.
Yeah. It's like they have all those new, like, effects and stuff they're using on it. It's like, oh, it's so cool.
Yeah. Also, in the scene that's up right now, like Marimon lands, and the landing blows Staccato away, and then he punches Guillamon.
Hello? You there? You cut out.
Because the cat
Cat?
pulling cords.
Cat, are you trying to sabotage the stream? Do you not want to hear about Guillamon getting hurt? But yeah, like...
Yeah, in this scene, he lands and it blows Staccato away, and then he punches Guillamon since flying.
Yeah. And like Leomon just sort of like beats him in one attack, and he's just on the ground like, yeah, come on, load my data or whatever. And Dukao's like, no, like, do you know Calamon? And he's like, no. And he's like, do you know about the Devas? And he's like, no. It's like, alright, good to know.
Yeah. And it makes sense that Leomon has the strength to take out Meramon in just like one hit. He took on an ultimate.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, leads to like the next big thing that happens. Because it turns out in this world, they're just roaming herds of ultimates.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. So I think these are called like Jagamon or something. But yeah, they're like weird rock seeds with like plant tails, and they just attack in like a wave. Because there's just like a herd of them in like a stampede.
Yeah, it's not really that they're attacking, they're just moving. And
Yeah.
anything that gets in the way gets trampled.
Like, they're just moving as a unit. Everyone freaks out and gets out of the way because holy crap, there's so many ultimates though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a literal herd of roaming ultimates. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, like, you know, they don't kill Meramon, and he seems like a cool dude, and he just tries to, like, attack the Jagamon, and, like, a section of them just, like, splits off and just runs him over and kills him.
Yeah. Which isn't out of character, as we've already found out, is that the Digimon fight so they can evolve, get stronger, and go to the real world.
Yeah. Not the brass move of Meramon to, like, just attack a group of ultimates, but yeah, fair enough. Sometimes
Especially
the digital world just be like that.
Yeah, especially after getting one shot by Leomon.
Yeah. So
Also,
yeah,
we see Impmon seemingly falling into the digital world.
Yeah. Yeah, we having like made a friend and then he died within like an hour or so.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Everyone just wakes up and like the Jagamon have all like buried into the ground and they just have their little like plant tails sticking out. It's like, oh, alright. Yeah, lots of interesting little like things just have like happening where it's like, yo, just neat little bits of world building. It's like, alright, yeah, these things just move in a herd and they just become like a field of plants. And like when nighttime comes, they just run somewhere else, presumably.
Yeah. And then like Rika gets all mad at them. And then somebody points out, I think it might be Renamon, is like, well, Meramon attacked them first.
Yeah. Yeah, was it like Kazu or something? No, was it Rika that got mad at them?
It's Rika who's all mad at them. Kazu and Kenta are like pulling on their tails because it's like, oh, look, a plant.
Right. And Rika's like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah. And then they're like, hey, have you seen these Digimon? Shows them like pictures of Kalumon and Makuramon. And they haven't seen Kalumon, but they did see Makuramon.
Yeah. I like that, like, I think Takado and the others, just, like, they get that bit of information, they're immediately like, oh, like, that's weird. Would Kalumon be with him? I guess, like, yo, he must have, like, lost him, or he's, like, putting him somewhere else or something. There's,
well,
like...
what it is they're actually doubting the accounts of the Jagamon. They're like, well, shouldn't they be together? Like, should we believe them?
Yeah. Like, at the impression that by the end they can't believe them, because it's like the Jagamon don't even seem to know what lying is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, how do we know you're not lying? And they're like, what's lying?
They're very friendly murderers, like roving ultimates.
Yeah. And this is around the time we see the little scene with Makuramon riding a dragon up to where he lost up to where he lost Calumon, and the scene happens where he's just gone. And he's like, "How could this be?"
I did get an image of it, but I should probably, when we say dragon, we like the most traditional looking, like, old man Chinese dragon ever. Or I guess it'd be like Japanese dragon or more. Like, just like that type, like, just serpentine with just an old man's face and a big, like, mustache and beard.
Yeah, it's like a Chinese dragon.
Yeah. And he's just sitting there, it's like, oh, well, I guess we have to figure out where he is now. Let's hunt this thing down again.
And then they get chased by one of the data streams, which is what the lights shining from the real world are.
Yeah. So, like, this is super interesting, because it's like, oh, there's just these pillars of light that are, like, going off of the real world sphere. And it's like, okay, we're like, is that just an effect? And it's like, no. Like, it's an actual beam that touches the ground, and if it, like, touches you, then it just teleports you somewhere else. Like, presumably it sucks you into one beam and spits you at another. You know?
Yeah. It can also, Leomon guesses that it might even be able to send you to another world.
Yeah, which is, like, kinda nuts. So it's like, Calumon might not just be in the digital world. He could, like, as far as the monkey goes, like, Calumon could have literally been transported anywhere. He could have got sucked back to the real world for all we know. Well, except we see him later, but yeah, as far as they know.
Yeah, we know Calumon didn't get sent back to the real world. But yeah, Kenta and Kazu get chased by the data stream and get sucked up in it along with Rika.
Yeah, because they run off in a different direction for everyone else like idiots, and Rika has to, like, rush in to try and save them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would that be great if, like, like, everyone says this big dramatic thing where it's like they're spending multiple episodes preparing and stuff to go in the digital world, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna save Calumon, and they get there, and Calumon gets sucked up and sent back to the real world, and it's just like, he's just at the school or something.
Yeah, and the kids are just like, well, I guess we're stuck here now.
I guess that problem took care of itself, didn't it?
Yeah. Because, of course, the kids have no idea if they can even get back. They didn't plan that far ahead.
Yeah, that's something they specifically point out. Like, oh, hey, can we even get back there? And they're like, maybe. It's probably not impossible.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, good starting episode, I think, for us, like, explaining just what the heck this place is and what this is even about.
Yeah. But still, not a lot actually happens.
Yeah.
It's a fine episode, though. It's alright.
Yeah, I do like that it sets up all these weird, like, world-building elements and stuff, but it's like, it is what it is. It's an introduction.
Yeah. Next episode's more fun.
And even less happens.
Yeah. Yeah, a whole lot of nothing happens this episode, but at least it's just kind of fun.
So, episode 26.